What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an NFL playoff recap featuring the NFC teams for the 2015-2016 playoff wildcard weekend. Sunday, January 10th, 2016, the Seahawks faced the Vikings at home. The Packers faced the Redskins at home, and we all know what happened by now. If you don't, you need to go sit down in your chair right now because I'm going to explain to you exactly what happened. Hopefully you're sitting down. Hopefully you're not a Vikings fan or a Redskins fan because this is going to be brutal. There's a lot of ways to lose football games. And what I've noticed with the new NFL change, moving the field goal, the extra point back to 33 yards, kickers are useless. And the reason that I say that, and some kickers are going to make it, we have some fascinating moments, to when guys made, crazy kicks and stuff like that, like Vinatieri and stuff like that. But this year has been disgusting. And every time you try to walk away when there's an extra point kick from the 33 from this year, you look back and then your team is lacking a point. And it's really, really disgusting. Blair Walsh of the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know if he's still a Viking, but he probably shouldn't be. Let's just be honest about it. A 27-yard field goal, it's closer than the new extra point. So if he can't make a 27-yarder, why the hell is he playing in the NFL? And I know there's a lot of people like, yeah, bro, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure for those college kids too. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I think a couple kids in the Pop Warner could have made that kick. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and guys laugh. And I know some big Pop Warner kids, bro. And I'm going to tell you this right now. A 27-yard field goal, I'm going to go ahead and say that they could have probably made that. And it's not to be a joke. It's to be very, very serious. Because as we know, as the distance goes further back, of course, it gets more difficult. A lot of things. I know the laces were in. He was doing it like it was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. A lot of stuff was going on. If you guys haven't seen that movie, definitely check it out. So you can know what I'm talking about as far as the field goal being missed and everything like that. But this game was won by the Vikings. I was so done with the game that I was actually getting up to walk away, but then I was like, you know what? Let me stay here because it just doesn't feel right. And as soon as I was leaving my couch, bro, I turned back, and this guy freaking kicked the ball to a fan in the stands on the left side of the damn upright. Look, that had to be a very, very devastating vision. Like even Floyd, the D tackle of the Vikings, like he was getting ready to celebrate, and he's like, oh my God. Like, You think that something is going your way all the way through, and at the last second it just goes left. Literally, I'm not even making a pun of it. It just goes left. Like, what was he doing? And then he has a nerve to be in the locker room saying it's all on me. Duh! Everybody knows it's all on you, you dumbass. They moved the ball. Like, Teddy Bridgewater played well enough against that Seahawks team to win, and that was a lot of. Teddy Bridgewater deserves a lot of credit because that's a very vicious defense that he went up against. People, I know it's not really the old-fashioned Legion of Boom. Teddy Bridgewater's a young QB. What is this, his second year? Like, bro, this guy faced a very, very tough defense and played extremely well, at all things considering, the weather, everything like that. And then you put a kicker out there, Blair Walsh, that does that? That's devastating, bro. To Mike Zimmer, to the defense that played like that. And look, listen, it's not all on Blair Walsh because Adrian Peterson, I don't know if you guys, let's go and rewind it back a little bit. Let's go down memory lane when the Seahawks obliterated the Vikings. And what did Adrian Beecher's son do? Oh, bro, we were out-coached, this and that, whatever. Okay. What does Mike Zimmer do then? He gives AP the ball like twice in a row. What does AP do? He turns into the vintage Adrian Beecherson and fumbles the ball. So that fumble actually changed everything because that was the fumble that they scored on when they shouldn't have scored. Like it was obviously a botched fumble, but Russell Wilson is very, very good and elusive and can get away and make plays. And Lockett is a very smart first-year player, bro. Listen, that guy, he was the only person that was moving on that broken play. It was a lot of things that went into it, but the bottom line is Adrian Beecherson, like I can't really, I don't know how to really divide the blame for the Vikings, but they made very detrimental things that came down to a kick. And as we know, in the NFL right now, there's no such thing as a certain kick. It's horrible, bro. Like, I'm at the point right now where I think that teams should pay kickers based on their performance per game. They shouldn't just be given a contract, because this is BS, bro. If you look at a lot of the games this season, a lot of games were lost based on just extra point misses, because it changed the momentum of the game. Either it didn't tie it, they had to go for two after. Like, a lot of things happened, and it just became too much. And it's actually better for the game that the NFL made the decision to bring the kick back for the extra point, because it shows you. It shows you how horrible these kickers are as human beings. And it seems like, yeah, bro, this guy's going crazy on the kickers, but just think about it. If that's your team, if the Vikings are your team, and you have a chance to knock off the Seahawks, bro, it's not like it's like some bummy team or whatever. It's a really good team that's been to like the last two NFC Championship games. You know, had the dumbest play ever in Super Bowl history and lost. But they're the Seattle Seahawks. Remember those boys? Richard Sherman, Chancellor, Earl Thomas. Remember, you know those boys? You know what I'm saying, bro? That's who you're beating right now, and you're that close. Like that's a kicker's wet dream, bro. Like, if you're gonna have a wet dream, and you're a kicker, it'll be from that distance. And he missed it. And like, again, the Adrian Peterson's fumble changed the momentum completely. I understand that. Adrian Peterson has been a bum, though. He's a very, very good running back, but he's always had a fumbling problem. And Chancellor knew that. And Chancellor is the real MVP. Listen, guys, if you go back to the beginning when Chancellor held out for those two games, and then, you know, you had Jimmy Graham running around like a total douche, and we realized that he can't block or do anything like a real tight end. He's a wide receiver. The man is a wide receiver. They should pay him as a wide receiver and just put him outside as a wide receiver, because that's what Jimmy Graham is. And I guarantee you that Jimmy Graham will go on to have one of the most successful careers ever if they just make him a goddamn wide receiver. But that's besides the point. The defense completely changed without Chancellor there. Completely changed. If you go back a little bit more, you remember he's the one that stripped Calvin Johnson, and you know, the other guy knocked it out of bounds intentionally, and the refs didn't call it. Like, Chancellor has made play after play after play. And what people are completely missing, everybody's talking about the kick with Blair Walsh. I believe the better story is Teddy Bridgewater and what he did in this game, because he played well enough to win this game. And if I was a Vikings fan, Blair, I would never want to listen. I understand that, you know, things happen and whatever like that. But if I'm Blair Walsh, I wouldn't want to be seen again either. Do you guys remember that Indianapolis Colts kicker that did this? I forgot his name. He was like the most accurate kicker. I can't remember his name. Guys, type it in the comments if you remember. He missed that kick where Peyton Manning drove the guys down the field. Was it a playoff game? I can't remember what it was. It might have been a playoff game. And he just kicked the ball like, he kicked it into space. Like with a Martian, you know what I'm saying, bro? With Matt Damon, he just kicked the ball all the way where nothing was, bro. And we've never heard from him again. That's what happened to Blair. That's what should happen to Blair Walsh. You also remember that punter that punted the ball? What was he, a Giants punter? And he punted it to like Deshaun Jackson when Deshaun Jackson was on the Eagles or something, and Deshaun Jackson ran it back for 6. Where's he? They did a 30 for 30 on him or something like that. Some kind of special where he's like, I'm just trying to get back in the league, bro. No! You had one job. Kick the goddamn ball out of bounds. You're kicking directly to one of the most, you know, electrifying punt returners ever. Listen, guys. I'm not a Vikings fan, but if I were a Vikings fan, I would be extremely upset and annoyed today. I would be very upset, and that's human emotions. And these guys are paid very well to just kick just kick the ball. It's 27. If it was a 50-yarder, I'd be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was a 49, like I'm gonna give him the 49 area. Even if it was a 49, I'd be like, all right. You know what? I could understand that. 27 yards. And the dude made 3 before that from further distance. So I don't understand what the hell he's doing. There is no excuse. And guys, people have to start understanding that, because there's a lot of people that's like, yeah, bro, 5 million people watching. Oh, this is not his first game. People be watching all the time, bro. The Minnesota Vikings been playing all year. Look, bro, this is why Vinatieri got the credit and the stuff that he got, because not only did he make kicks in snow and the most horrendous weathers, he made it under immense pressure. It's not like these are things that can't be done. We've seen it done. So people can't say, oh yeah, everybody's watching. No. Vinatieri made it in the Super Bowl when everything was on the line, bro. Do people understand this? That it can be done and it should be done, and it's just not getting done? Nobody understands that? This is horrendous. This is disgusting. This guy is a jerk off. Okay? That's what Blair Walsh is. And people need to understand that right now. That this man is the ultimate epitome of failure. 27-yard field goal with your team playing like that. And again, my biggest thing from it, watching the entire game, is Teddy Bridgewater. That's a young QB that's been, utilized in the best capability that he can be utilized in, and played a team that's so tough, throwing these ridiculously tight in-gap passes, reading the zone, doing things like a veteran. And you take the game away from him with that horrendous kick. That's a problem for me. And it should be a problem for every Vikings fan, and they should be writing letters to make sure that Blair Walsh never kicks a football in that stadium again, or ever wears wears a Vikings uniform. It's harsh, but that's how life is, bro. You're paid to perform. If I'm paid to perform, I accept it, bro. If that was me, I'm telling you guys right now, I'll be very, very honest. If I miss that kick, as soon as I miss that kick, I'll be like, yo, I'll call my wife like, yo, I know you about to serve me papers. All right, cool. I'll go to the owner like, I apologize. I'm going to take half my check and just give it to charity, whatever charity you choose. And I'm going to go move on and go, be a janitor at a high school or something. Like, I can't, as knowing that all the pressure's on me, I have to be prepared for that. I have to make sure I can do that. Even in the harshest moments, I have to be prepared for that. And I understand that we all make mistakes and we're all human, allegedly. I understand that. But from 27 yards, I would have been so happy if I'm a kicker to have a kick from that. Listen, Vinatieri would have nailed that, bro. And he's like 106. Vinatieri would have nailed that right down the middle, bro, with no problem at all. So I don't want to hear that it can't be done. These guys have to start focusing and understand, yes, it's a very, very stressful point because you're only needed for this one thing. But that's what your job is. You've been doing it, hopefully since college or whatever, however you got there. You've tried out. You've made the team. You have to be able to make that kick. You have to be able to make that kick. That was so annoying and disgusting to watch because I looked at the Vikings fans and it's like, we're going to the next round. No, we're not. The deflation in their faces, bro, was just too much. And if the kick was any longer, and like I said, I'm going to give him 49. You know what I'm saying? Like, because 50 yards, whatever, he's not big time like that. Blair Walsh ain't big time. So I'm going to say, okay, you know what? I would give him like a 49. If it's like a 40-something yarder, I could understand him missing it. But from 27, closer than a goddamn extra point, he couldn't make a 27-yard field goal. That's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. And I've seen a lot of crazy things, but that was unbelievable to me. About the Seahawks now. Russell Wilson, bro. Listen, man. That one scramble where he threw the dot to Russell, to Tyler Lockett, that was the game right there. That was the game, because if you just tackle him and get that loss right there instead of trying to get a big hit, the game's over pretty much. Because they're not going to score, and then you're going to get the ball back, and then that's it. Adrian Beecherson, he's a joke off. Yeah, bro, I'm about to say a joke off. He's a jerk off, excuse me. I don't know what he's doing. He called Marshawn Lynch the number 2 running back. He was talking all that crap. And you see, that's the thing about it, bro. That's why people make, they try to say, oh, yeah, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather talks mad trash, and he backs it up. And as much as anybody could say that, yeah, that was a loss. No, it didn't. He won them. He won them all because that's what it says on paper. He won it. Regardless of what was questionable, what he was doing, I don't care. And I respect athletes that talk the game. Because if that's your thing, if you talk the talk and walk the walk, yo, what can anybody say to you? If you talk the talk and go out there and perform, there's nothing that anyone can say to you. And AP went out there and fumbled the ball when the team needed him the most. And that's pretty much, bro, that's it. McKinnon, you might be there, bro, you're the future. I would get rid of Adrian Beecherson, bro. Like, I'm serious. I just think he's a great running back, all that blah, 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 blah. He's still fumbling this late in his career, still doing the same ridiculousness. All right, time for him to go. Let's move on from that. But let's give credit to the Seahawks. Like I said, Russell Wilson, elusive, getting away from defenders, making those plays on the run. He's impressing me more and more. Every time I see him play, when it comes down to breaking it down, his movement, being able to win in that weather, when, it was a lot of things that came through. Chancellor, of course. Richard Sherman had a couple big hits in that game. Earl Thomas made some plays. He had a crazy pass interference penalty, but he made some plays. They played well, man. They played well, and I don't think they're the Legion of Boom, But I think they're going to give Carolina a run for their money. You know what I'm saying? I think Carolina will win the game next week, but I think the Seahawks are going to give them a run for their money. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks just came out of nowhere and started doing whatever. But I like Carolina in that game, primarily because I think Cam Newton has matured. I think that the defense is on point. They're ready to go. And I think that the Panthers will beat them, but this game was huge for them, bro. It was destiny for the Seahawks to win this game. Because when you miss a field goal from 27 yards, when it's like right there, point blank range, you sold your soul to the devil. You did something to win this game. So, kudos to the Seahawks and the Seahawks fans for pulling out a big win. But a lot of this game was circumstantial, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was circumstances where the Vikings could have made plays. If Adrian Peterson doesn't fumble, if they tackle, Russell Wilson in the backfield when that was a botched snap, a lot of things, bro, could have made this game completely different. But the Seahawks, at the end of the day, you got to give them credit. They came out there and they played the whole game and they won it. And that's it. That's the bottom line, man. There's not much I can say about it. Marshawn Lynch choosing not to go at the last minute, I didn't like that because he took all the reps. And, Christian Michael, he's a bum, it looks like. I don't even know what's going on there. Bro, look, let's see what happens. But there was a lot of controversy surrounding the Seahawks, and they came out with the win. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, bro. We're going to talk about Blair Walsh for a while. I don't think I'll see him on an NFL team in the near future because when you don't perform on the biggest stage, teams don't want you. You've shown what you can do. And the kickers this year have been really horrendous, man. And I'm just disgusted with it overall. And I look, again, kudos to the Seahawks. That was the biggest play right there for me, in my opinion. If you tackle Russell Wilson on that botch snap, we're talking about the Vikings and how good they were. And that's just the way reality goes, bro. You got to play the full game. And it just didn't work out that way for them, man. And it's unfortunate, but the Seahawks are moving on to play the Panthers, and we'll get to that in a second. Let me see. We're going to go ahead and go right now to the Packers at the Redskins. Now, you like that? Yeah, Kirk Cousins, bro. Listen, the way the game started off, you would have thought, because I picked the Redskins in this game just because of the way the Packers were playing, but you know what happened? When I was watching this game, I saw Aaron Rodgers start to beat Aaron Rodgers again, and it scared me, bro. Because when he's playing like how he wants to play and how we know Aaron Rodgers can play, he's really a bad man. Like, bro, that dude is really a bad man. He just started throwing dots all over the place. And we know that Randall Cobb at the end of the game said, "You like that?" into the camera as he's walking into the, walking to the locker room or whatever in the tunnel. And I don't know what's going to happen through this. I do know that RG3 is going to be released. They have to release the man to give him a chance to go play someplace else. Kirk Cousins, he learned a lot. He fumbled. He did some things that he probably wasn't in his best interest to do. Deshaun Jackson, we all know he's a jackass and still doesn't know what the NFL end zone is because he's always doing something stupid, either not getting across the line, in the past with the Eagles. He's just so stupid. That was so annoying because that took away a lot of momentum and a lot of air out of their sails, bro. And Deshaun Jackson is known for that. If he just focuses on not trying to look cute and just, put the ball out and go through like every other receiver in the NFL would have done, the game would have turned out to be entirely different. In my opinion, that was a scenario, even though later on, Kirk Cousins threw a dot to Jordan Reed down the seam, whatever, and everything, the momentum was changing. Plays like that would happen with Deshaun Jackson. I look at stuff like that because I try to see exactly where the game changes. What made the game go this way? What made the game go that way? And those are the things that I believe affected the game. That play right there, Kirk Cousins obviously fumbling, continuously, like he didn't know what the F was going on. I think he fumbled at least twice. And then you just look at the Packers. Guys were able to get open. When Adams is getting open and Cobb is running the ball. Because let me just be very, very clear. Because I'm never gonna go too much into the X's and O's and all that stuff like that because that's boring. We know what happened. We know that Aaron Rodgers became Aaron Rodgers. They won 35-18. All right, that's great. We know all that. We know that the Redskins just wasn't prepared to deal with Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, and we weren't even used to seeing Aaron Rodgers play like that for like the last 4 or 5 weeks. So it was a shock to all of us. But let me just say something about the Packers. They deserve credit for keeping Eddie Lacy out the game as much as they did and making other people be running backs. I would have taken a 4-year-old toddler at running back over Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy is a fat bastard. And yeah, almost like the fat bastard from Austin Powers too. He's not, they're going to cut him. They have to cut him. They're going to have to release him because in this league right now, there's no place for that, bro. He just looks too big and out of shape. And if you see him standing up there, I'm not trying to be, hurtful, but if you're in the NFL and you got a job as a running back, you can't be camped out at Taco Bell for the new, Burrito Bel Grande. Like, bro, this dude is mad fat and ridiculous, bro. There's like LeGarrette Blount is a big guy. He's a big dude. Obviously, his name is Blunt, so he smokes blunts because allegedly that's what he was doing. That's why he was released from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now: the way he runs and the way Eddie Lacy runs, two completely different runners. And he's not like that fat guy. He's just tall and he's just big. Eddie Lacy is visibly plump, bro, like the Michelin Man. That's not gonna work. And what the Packers did was they gave him packages for, Cobb to run the ball. They put in Starks. They put in other running backs. And they gave Eddie Lacy some run or whatever like that just to make him get in there, get a feel, whatever. He got a first down, a couple first downs, whatever. He's too fat for this team to go on and win with. He's too overweight. He's fat as hell. He needs to go on a diet, and he needs to change his life up. Because when you're sitting, when you're at practice and everybody's doing drills, and you're in the back corner with an Entenmann's donut box, something is wrong. And that's what I really liked about what the Packers did. Mike McCarthy made the decision like, look, you're fat as hell. Mike McCarthy like, look, I'm fat, but I don't play. You know what I'm saying? He's like, look, you see how the way I talk, like I got like cotton balls in my mouth? I'm fat as hell, but you're a running back. And you should not look the way you look. You coming in here overweight with McDonald's wrappers jumping out your back pocket. You're a fat F. That's what had to be said to him, bro, because he was on the bench a lot of that game, where he should be. And I know Packers fans, I've said this in the past. Guys, go back to my recaps. I have a whole year of them. Check them out. I've been saying this to you guys the whole time. Eddie Lacy is a problem. His weight is a problem. In the NFL right now, since Jerome Bettis, I don't think I've seen a real fat, plump running back, really do anything. Like running back, not fullback. You know what I'm saying? Running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous now. This man is mad fat running around like everything is okay. It's not. You got to lose some poundage. And I'm saying poundage because you're fat as hell. Okay? And you're an NFL running back. Have some self-respect. Lean down, go on the Biggest Loser, and do something about it. Because you are playing like a total turd, bro. But at the end of the day, biggest thing from this game, Aaron Rodgers played like Aaron Rodgers, and the receivers got open. Adams, Jones, all these boys, Cobb, they got open. That's the biggest story, and they just turned the game around, bro. The defense played outrageous, bro. The defense played well. The Redskins got a safety early on, but the Packers defense, they played extremely well in this game. Extremely well. Don't discount that point. Don't double check that point. They played extremely well. And it just became a rout in the second half. And that's pretty much what it is. I'm not going to sit around here and sugarcoat it. I chose the Redskins to win this game. But when the Packers play like the Packers play, you know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, Aaron Rodgers played like he looked like he had confidence again. He was standing in the pocket and just throwing dots, bro. You're not going to beat them. They're a dangerous team. Not me. I don't think they'll beat the Cardinals. I'm going to be realistic about it. But that was a huge win for them. And that's all I'm going to say about it. As far as the Redskins go, they have a lot to build on. Jordan Reed and Kirk Cousins, that combination is going to be like, Phillip Rivers and Gates soon. I think that's how dangerous they are. I think they have a lot of upside. I think once they get rid of RG3 and that distraction, the elephant in the room is gone, I think they'll play a lot better once that happens. Jay Gruden will continue to mature as a coach. He made a great decision in benching RG3, but the way he handled RG3 wasn't coach-like, and I didn't like the way he did it. But everybody's going to grow from it, and we'll move on. And, the Packers, they still got another week to play. I don't see them winning, but all the away teams won this week. The Chiefs, Steelers, Seahawks, and Packers. So I guess it was just a scenario where it was, all the road teams were going to win. And that's pretty much it. But the Redskins, I wouldn't hold my head down. You got beat by a better team yesterday, bro. That's pretty much what it is. There's no such thing as moral victories, but you got something to build on. You got something when you're in the gym to do that extra rep, to do that extra set, to work hard, bro. And that's what it's all about. If we played sports, I played sports. You lose to a same team, over and over in the season or whatever, or you lose a tough loss. You go and you work hard if you really, really want it. And I think the Redskins could come back and make noise next year and just have a little bit more confidence. And once again, RG3 being out of the locker room now, we get rid of that whole scenario. And I think I think Kirk Cousins now can mature on a much higher level than having this guy just sitting there looking stupid with, just looking ridiculous all the time on the sideline, in my opinion. So congratulations to the Packers and the Seahawks, the Steelers and the Chiefs. We're going to move on to my picks for the divisional playoffs. I'm going to take the Patriots and the Cardinals, primarily for the fact that I just don't see the Patriots losing to the Chiefs. I just don't see it. I know Andy Reid, 11 games, 12 games straight, whatever. I got to go with the Pats. I can't say that. I don't care if they just lost to the Dolphins. A lot of guys are bringing that up to me. I don't care about that. When it counts, the Patriots come through. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Patriots. The Cardinals, I got to believe that they could beat the Packers. If they don't, if they lose it, if the Cardinals lose this game, bro, I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm going to take the Pats and the Cardinals. I can't say the Packers are going to beat the Cardinals. Look, man, I have no reasoning behind it. I like both head coaches. I just got to go with the Cardinals. I like both teams. I just think the Cardinals are a better team. Seahawks at Panthers, I got to go with the Panthers. I got to take the Panthers. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, they've done so much. I can't go any other way. I have to take the Panthers. And I appreciate what the Seahawks did, coming out with a 10-9 victory, whatever. I got to take the Panthers. Steelers at Broncos, I got to take the Broncos. Peyton Manning better be starting because Peyton Manning's on HGH. He should be fine. He should be healed up. He should be ready to go. And that's the bottom line. And, with that going, with that experience and the way the Steelers struggled, you know what I'm saying, bro, against the Bengals, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Broncos. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is the NFL recap for the playoff edition, NFC teams. And stay tuned for the divisional playoffs. Definitely go to iTunes, GmiasWorld Podcast. It's there. You could download it for free inside the Android app, inside the Google Play Store. The podcast source app, GmiasWorld Podcast, is in there for free download as well. And you could just watch it here on YouTube and share it. Forward it, like it on Twitter, whatever. Do whatever you got to do, man. And spread the word. But definitely look out for the divisional playoff recaps. It'll be around soon. Enjoy your week. Until next time. One love.